I've finally done it. I have finished all of the testing on my Swiftech Boreas custom cooling loop. So the real question we need to ask is, should you do a custom loop cooling kit? I mean, is it worth it? Is this gonna be something that's for everybody? Or maybe this isn't exactly what you're looking to do? And then, if a custom loop is the thing you're gonna do, is Swiftech going to be the company for you? Let's go ahead and wrap this project up. Hey guys, Hardware Hound here. I am wrapping up my review work on the Swiftech Boreas custom cooling kit. So we got to do the install process, we got to do the lighting and the dyeing and the coolant and all that fun stuff. So now we need to really focus on performance, but I do want to do a quick overview of just the processes that I went through. So for starters, the install process on this custom loop was, I mean, it was time consuming. Yeah, you don't just put all of this together and just throw it in your case and be like, okay, I was done. That took me 15 minutes. Yeah, look at me go. It did take time, but overall, I would say it was pretty easy. I mean, this kit went together nicely. And I think that one of the big things that people can be really afraid of is install is going to be tough. And yeah, it could be tough, but Swiftech did a good job of putting together just the right kind of components and everything went in. I think the hardest part might be installing a reservoir into your case, and as long as you have mounting spots for it, you're gonna be fine. You're not gonna have any kind of real issue there as long as you don't have to drill some holes. And let's face it, if you're comfortable with drilling the drill bit, you can drill some holes, you can mount it to just about any case as long as you've got the space. You know, you do need an extra tool. Most things use screwdrivers in a case. I needed a crescent wrench so that I could do the fittings, but minor step, and it wasn't too hard after that. Everything went together good. One of the big things that made this a lot easier too was the flexible tubing. So when we get to the overall looks of this thing, we have great function there for the install process. When we get to the looks here, you know, Swiftech includes dyes so that we can get a color of the coolant that isn't just white. Because let me be quite blunt, I did not like white, but as you can see from my case and my kind of stuff, white's not gonna work for me. But yeah, you got multiple different colors. You can set whatever there. The RGB lighting looks really, really good. It may not be like the best I've ever seen, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. So RGB lighting is good. I like it a lot. It does much better though if you can use an addressable RGB header on the motherboard, because the controller, the Iris controller, it didn't have a whole lot of effects. It does have the colors, but not effects. Let's be honest, guys, if you ever want to change your coloring, if you're using one of these controllers, you usually have a button that you got to press on it, and if that thing's in the back of your cable management, it means taking apart your case. So moving to more of a, hey, here's a motherboard link, like what the Iris MB link that just adapts everything to your motherboard header, I do think that's the better route to go overall. So after that, we have performance. If you were expecting a custom loop to absolutely blow all the competition away and just be like, all right, we just look at these numbers, it wasn't gonna happen. And that's not because custom loops are bad, and that's not because custom loops are anything but great. It's because closed loop coolers have gotten a lot better. A lot better. I mean, I remember when I first started looking at closed loop coolers, they were all right, but they weren't going to do performance like custom was going to do. The pumps were weak, the radiators were small, everything was just very, very cut rate. And now we got some closed loop coolers that do great. So it does make it a little harder for a custom loop to stand out on a raw performance basis. But if we look at our numbers, we're going to see that not only did we have some really great stock cooling with this guy, but we even were able to hit my highest level of overclocking so far of any cooler I've used. And so everything was in the same bracket. Now, you guys are getting a little bit of a spoiler of my CPU cooler tier list. It's coming. It's going to be an awesome big project. At least I think so. It's going to really help you guys be able to see the clear differences, I think, between CPU coolers. The ones that are kind of close and the ones that actually do significant performance increase on cooling. But more of that later. Just watch my channel, watch my website. That'll be coming soon. So on this guy, it stays at the same level as the other two coolers I tested. And so obviously we've got really great performance, but when we got to our kind of our mid-range noise level, because we were able to keep the pump at 100%, this guy actually ends up taking a slight lead. So it goes to show that when it comes to, when you get to these bigger 360mm radiators, airflow is gonna be a lot of what is gonna improve the cooling. The more air you can just push through that radiator, the better. So performance is phenomenal. Should you go with a custom loop? That's really the question. And I think it's really a simple answer. Guys, if all you want to do is I want to overclock my CPU and I just want really good cooling performance and I just want something easy, then a closed loop cooler is by far the best option for you. It makes things super easy. They perform surprisingly well. And yeah, if all you're ever going to do is put a CPU on it, this is kind of overkill. This is definitely overkill. This guy is really going to shine if I can throw my graphics card in there, or if I have one of the water force type motherboards that has a full water block on not just the CPU socket, but the VRMs. And in fact, Gigabyte more recently introduced a board that the water block even goes down to the motherboard chipset. It's insane. Well, yeah, get a custom loop for that. But there is another reason why you'd go custom, and there's that versatility factor that you can add stuff into it, obviously, because it's not a closed system, but there is just a huge quality factor. Okay, we've got a copper brass radiator, and one of the things I noticed right away, when I slapped this guy on the top of my case, this thing is so rigid, I mean 2 screws and it ain't moving at all. And even the aluminums, when they start getting up to 360, I could kind of feel a little bit of bow in the center, and I was like, I better put 2 more screws in the center, because I didn't like how that felt. So Swiftech's going to have way better quality here. We've got a pump reservoir that is just this, look at how big and sturdy this is with the acrylic and the metal beams coming up the sides here to hold it all together. This is just a big, huge, solid piece of quality, which I like. The fittings, oh, fittings look great. Fittings look awesome when you have those nice, you know, metallic type fittings screwed into your block, into your radiator, into your reservoir. If you're wanting top-notch quality, then you go for this. However, the kit I reviewed that has the 200mm reservoir, as well as the included motherboard link that Swiftech had me look at, was running about $382, and that's before shipping. So after shipping, you could be over $400, and that is where it's going to hit you. Yes, guys, a custom cooling loop is going to cost you some money, and that's just the way it's going to be. But a custom cooling loop is going to last you a really long time too. We've got AM4 sockets, we have Intel with their 1151, and even with the changes in the sockets, the mounting holes for CPU coolers and blocks have stayed the same now for a while. So if you get one of these, it's probably going to last you through several upgrades. So honestly, I won't ever say any custom loop is a great value, but Swiftech is very competitive. In fact, I would think you're going to spend a little less money with Swiftech for the same amount of materials than you would with just about anything else. As a result, I'm going to definitely have to say, Hardware Hound must have though. If you are in any way wanting a custom loop, definitely consider Swiftech. They've got an awesome setup here. The Boreas kit's a great way to get started. Highly recommend it. Guys, hope these performance numbers and charts and stuff help you out. Let me know what you think in the review. I will catch you later.